Gorgeous, huh? Use your imagination, it's still under construction. I think my biggest problem is with being young and beautiful. It's my biggest problem because I've never been young and beautiful. It's more important, I probably never will be young and beautiful. I've been beautiful, and God knows I have been young, but never the twain have met. Not so anybody would notice anyway. A shrink acquaintance of mine believes this to be my root of attraction to a group of men most subtly described as old and ugly. But I think he's underestimating my wheedles. You see, an ugly person who goes after a pretty person gets nothing but trouble. But a pretty person who goes after an ugly person gets at least cab fare. Now, I ain't saying I never fell for a pretty face, but when la jaws en fait, give me a toad with a pot of gold and I'll give you 3 square meals a day, because honeys, there's no such thing as a toad when the lights go down. It's either feast or famine. It's the daylight you gotta watch out for. Because face it, a thing of beauty is a joy till sunrise. I never pushed Lady Luck myself. I got what you call an extrasensory sense about such things. See, if I really like a guy, I wake up 3 minutes before he does. Gives me just enough time to unsucker my pucker, reinstate my quaff, and repose my repose so that his eyes upon waking conjure up images by Jove and Lana Turner. That guarantees me breakfast. If not his real phone number. Here's another hint to all presently unattached. You can cross any man off your dance card who A, discusses his wonderful relationship with his mother, or B, discusses his wonderful relationship with his shrinker, or C, refuses to discuss his relationship with his mother and his shrinker. See, a guy who's got that kind of confidant is in what I call a state of constant confession. There can never be more to him than subject matter for their conversations. But you know what happens if you push hard enough? You end up visiting him on Sundays at the happy home for the bewildered. Now, I ain't saying you should only date sane men. I don't want to kill off all the fish in this polluted ocean. At least find a guy who's willing to stand up and fight. Give me a man with clenched fists, and I'll give you a smile. From here till next Thursday. Oh. There's another group that you need to watch your food stamps around. The hopeless. They break down into 3 major categories. Married, just in for the weekend, and terminally straight. Those affairs are the worst. You go into them with your eyes wide open, knowing all the limitations, accepting them maturely, then wham bam, you're up at midnight burning black candles, writing letters to Dear Abby and asking yourself, what happened? I'll tell you what happened. You got just what you wanted. Anybody who thinks they're mature enough to handle a relationship that's hopeless from the beginning are the very same people that keep the writers of Gothic romance novels up to their tragic endings in me. So what's left? I don't know, but there are some. I found one once. His name was Charlie. Everything you could want in an affair and more. Tall, handsome, rich, deaf. The deafness was the more. He never yelled at me for snoring. I could play my music as loud as I wanted. All of his friends was nice and quiet. See, I think I can even remember some of that sign language. Yeah, that means cockroach. This, I means fuck. This here's my favorite. Means I love you. And I did love him too, but not enough. For those of you that ain't guessed yet, I am an entertainer. Or what's left of one. I go by the name Virginia Ham. Ain't that a kick in the rubber parts? You should have heard some of my former handles. Let's see, I've been known as Kitty Litter, So Fond of Boys, I need a man. Bertha the nation. And bang, bang, Ladesh. Oh, and I'm pretty tough, too. I can afford to be behind a phony name, face, and figure. See, I'm the last of a dying breed. Once the gay rights bills and ERA amendments have been passed, me and my kind will find ourselves swept under the carpet, like the blacks did when they was an Andy and Aunt Jemima. But I got nothing to worry about. With a face and a voice like this, I can always drive a cab. And that, chillin', is what I call power. Be it black, flowered, or gay, it all boils down to survival of the majority. You know, if there are easier things in this life than being a drag queen. But I got no choice. See, try as I may, I just can't. Walk in flats. You know what I really, really want? The international stud, not the bar, the man. And honestly, the international stud, one size fits all. I wouldn't want no man who wanted me looking like this here. No, I need a man who wants me for the other times. Times when I'm not so well protected. There's plenty that want me looking like this here. And I take their admiration gracefully and from a distance. See, a drag queen is an awful lot like an oil painting. You gotta stand back to get full of that. Well, I think we're in business. My, how time flies when you do all the talking. Besides, maybe my Mr. Right is out there tonight, who knows? You know, in my lifetime, I've slept with more men than are named and or numbered in the Bible. Old and New Testaments put together. In all those beds, not one person has ever turned to me and said, Arnold, I love you. That I couldn't believe. So I asked myself, do you care? The only honest answer I could give myself is yes, I care. I care a great deal. I care because I care